Hi, are you tired of making mistakes in the opening? Let's learn these five principles to play the opening better. First principle, gain center control. These four squares are the center squares of the chessboard. If you have good control over these squares, your piece mobility will be better. And it will also help you to gain more space to develop your pieces. Also, sometimes it may help you to restrict your opponent's pieces. That's why most of the chess players start their game with the first move e4 or d4. And the second principle, don't develop your major pieces early stage of the game because it will help your opponent to develop the pieces by attacking your major pieces, and it will also affect your piece development. So don't play such moves like queen f3, queen h5. It will clearly affect your development in the open. Then the third principle is obviously developing your minor pieces. So your bishops and knights are the minor pieces, so try to develop your minor pieces as quickly as possible. And one more thing, don't play the same piece multiple times in the opening so that you won't get time to develop your other pieces. And the fourth principle is don't make unnecessary pawn moves like a3, b4, or sometimes h3, g4, so that you won't get time to develop your pieces. And also, sometimes these pawn moves may create weakness in your pawn structures. So never make unnecessary pawn moves. And the fifth principle, the most important principle, is to make castle as quick as possible because obviously protecting our king is the important thing. So if you keep your king in the center, it will be easy for your opponent to attack your king. So try to make castle as quick as possible. Also, when you're following these principles, you keep an eye on opponent's plan and also his mistakes. Sometimes your opponents won't follow these principles so that you will get an opportunity to punish his mistakes. So also keep an eye on opponent's move. Now I'm going to show you a short game to explain these things in a simple way. This game was played by players Chigorin versus Byrne in 1906. E4, E5, both players play for the center control, and white played F4. Obviously, not a great move. Gambits won't work against good players, so better try to avoid playing gambits. And black went for direct minor piece development. He's activating his bishop and also keeping an eye on G1 square. So now it's not easy for white to make castle. And obviously, here pawn takes pawn is not a great move because of the queen h4 check. Yes, bringing the queen out early is not a good idea, but in this position, black is completely winning. So if you are gaining some advantage or if you are able to do checkmate, it's fine to bring your queen sometimes. So if white goes for king e2, simply queen takes e4, checkmate. If white plays g3, queen takes e4 check, and we are winning the rook. So it's completely winning for black. So pawn takes pawn is not a good move. So white played knight f3, d6, bishop c4, knight f6, c3, castle. It's just five moves, but black is already cancelled. So black's king is completely safe, but still white's king is in the center. Now we can also capture the pawn on e4, which doesn't have any protection. So white played d3, knight c6, and white played queen e2 with idea of bishop e3 so that he can castle. But here black played a very nice move. Already black is in huge lead in development. He developed three minor pieces and also he castled. His king is completely safe. So here black played a very nice move, rook e8, because still white's king is in the center. So he's planning to open up the center, which will help black to attack the king. So white played f5. to avoid opening the center. But already he made lot of pawn moves, so still he's in behind in development. Okay, now pause the video and try to find the best move for black. Yeah. So like I said before, still white's king is in the center. So the best way to attack the uncastled king is to open up the center. So the best move is d5. Brilliant move. Obviously, taking this pawn is not a good idea because of e4. And black is completely winning. We are threatening to capture the knight, also threatening to capture this pawn, but that's not the main threat. With these moves, we are also winning the queen. So even bishop takes d5 is not a best move because of knight takes d5, pawn takes d5, and here comes the brilliant move. Bishop takes f5. For capturing this knight is not possible because of the e4 once again. Again, we are threatening to win the knight and we are going to win the queen. So instead of capturing the knight, if white plays something like bd2 to focus on development, we can just win this pawn. And black is already a pawn up, and also black is in huge lead in development. It's still white's king is in trouble. So obviously, white cannot capture this pawn. So white played bishop b3. Now once again, pause the video and try to find the best move for. Yeah, it's a brilliant move. Bishop takes f5. It's a bishop sacrifice. So black sacrifices the bishop to open up the center because black has huge lead in development. So he can just go for the king, which is in the center. Obviously, pawn takes f5 is a blunder because once again we can just go for e4 and the game is over. So white played bishop g5, but we already won a pawn. So pawn takes e4, pawn takes e4, and black won another pawn. Bishop takes e4. So now white played queen c4, threatening a lot of things like queen takes c5, queen takes f7, and also threatening to win the bishop after taking the knight. But this one move defends everything. Can you find it? Yeah, it's queen d5. Very nice move. It defends everything. It protects the bishop, blocks the attack. Also, it protects e4 bishop. So obviously, trading queens in this position is not a good idea because white is two pawns down. So if white trades pieces in this position, definitely it's not good for white. So white went for queen b5, attacking a queen, but it's actually a blunder. He could have played some other moves like maybe queen e2, but still it's losing. Queen b5 is a huge blunder because of this cover, and also it's a check to the king. So white cannot save the queen. So white resigned in this position. So in this game, white played unnecessary pawn moves. He didn't develop his pieces faster. Also, his king stuck in the center. That's why he lost this game in just 13 moves. So follow these five principles to play the opening better. And also, you can punish your opponents if they don't follow these principles. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. I hope you learned something useful from this video. See you in next video. Thank you.